For decades, South Korea was the undisputed king of shipbuilding. Starting in the 1980s, the country built a powerful industry from scratch. Giants like Hyundai, Samsung, and Daewoo became global icons, known for building the biggest and best ships. South Korean shipyards were like bustling cities, filled with skilled workers and cutting-edge technology. They produced the world's most advanced vessels, massive oil tankers, complex container ships, and especially LNG carriers. By 2018, South Korea built nearly 90% of the world's large tankers and led in LNG carrier construction. Their reputation for quality and expertise was unmatched. The shipbuilding boom became a symbol of South Korea's economic miracle. The industry's efficiency and innovation set the global standard. Order books were overflowing and the future looked bright. South Korea's shipyards were the backbone of global trade. The skills of its engineers and welders were legendary, and its methods were studied worldwide. For years it seemed nothing could threaten their dominance. But beneath the surface, new challenges were emerging. Rising costs, labor shortages, and global competition began to cast a shadow. The golden age was about to be tested. The king of shipbuilding was about to face a serious threat. The world was watching to see what would happen next. By 2018, cracks appeared in South Korea's shipbuilding empire. Rising steel prices squeezed profit margins, making ships more expensive to build. The once favorable deals with domestic steelmakers vanished. At the same time, a labor crisis hit hard. The skilled workforce shrank from 230,000 to just 85,000. Retirements and layoffs left a huge skills gap. Production slowed, and shipyards operated below capacity. Delays became common. Ships that once took 2 years now took 3. Backlogs grew, and customers faced costly waits. Shipping companies lost money, and shipyards lost credibility. The industry's reputation for reliability was at risk. South Korean firms faced a tough choice: pay more and wait, or look elsewhere. For the first time, they considered foreign shipyards. The once unbeatable industry was struggling to keep up. The problems at home were too big to ignore. The path to survival was uncertain. South Korea's shipbuilding crown was slipping. While South Korea struggled, China was quietly executing a bold strategy. The Chinese government made shipbuilding a national priority, pouring billions into modernizing shipyards and building new ones. China studied the best, learning from South Korea and Japan, acquiring foreign technology, and training a new generation of skilled workers. Vocational schools and training programs created a steady pipeline of talent. Massive government subsidies and state-backed loans gave Chinese shipbuilders a huge edge. With lower costs and strong support, China's shipyards became increasingly competitive. South Korean companies, desperate for affordable and timely ships, began placing orders in China. What started as a practical solution soon became a necessity. China's careful planning was paying off. The global balance of shipbuilding power was shifting. Chinese shipyards were ready to take on the world's biggest orders. For South Korea, this was a painful turning point. The era of unchallenged dominance was over. A new rival had arrived. China's rise wasn't just about money, it was about building a self-sufficient shipbuilding ecosystem. China developed an integrated supply chain, producing everything from steel to advanced electronics domestically. This vertical integration slashed costs and eliminated delays. Chinese shipyards could ramp up production quickly, handling massive orders with speed and efficiency. By 2009, China surpassed South Korea in new ship orders, a stunning milestone. No longer just a low-cost competitor, China was now a leader in speed, scale, and reliability. The world took notice as Chinese shipyards delivered on time and at lower prices. By 2024, China was poised to become the undisputed global leader. Government support, a complete supply chain, and immense scale created an industrial powerhouse. Customers from around the world, including South Korea, flocked to Chinese shipyards. The giant was fully awake and ready to dominate the seas. South Korea's old playbook was no longer enough. The rules of shipbuilding had changed. China was setting the new standard. The ultimate test in shipbuilding is the LNG carrier, one of the world's most complex vessels. For years, only South Korea and Japan could build them. China knew it had to master this technology to lead the industry. Heavy investment in research and development followed. In 2008, China launched its first domestically built LNG carrier, the Dapeng Sun. This breakthrough proved China could build high-tech ships. Chinese shipyards rapidly improved, adopting automation and advanced manufacturing. The technology gap with South Korea narrowed quickly. International clients began to trust China with their most demanding orders. China's reputation for quality and complex ships grew. The world saw that China could now build any vessel required. The final barrier had fallen. China was no longer just a follower, it was a true innovator. The global order in shipbuilding was changing fast. South Korea's lead in advanced ships was under threat. By 2024, the world's biggest shipping companies were turning to China. German firms, once loyal to South Korea and Japan, placed major orders with Chinese shipyards. Even Qatar, a longtime South Korean client, shifted its massive LNG carrier orders to China. These high-profile deals validated China's shipbuilding model. It wasn't just about price. China had proven its quality and reliability. The ultimate shock came when South Korean companies themselves ordered $2.7 billion worth of ships from China. The king of shipbuilding was now buying from its rival. The industry was stunned. The global balance of power had shifted. China was now at the top. South Korea's era of dominance was over. The world's trust had moved east. The helm of shipbuilding belonged to China. China's dominance in shipbuilding has reshaped global trade. As the main builder of the world's ships, China now wields enormous influence over supply chains and industry standards. Shipping companies benefit from lower costs, but the world is more reliant on China than ever. Any disruption in China, economic, political, or natural, could ripple across global trade. This concentration of power creates new vulnerabilities. Countries that once relied on South Korea or Japan must now build ties with China. Some worry about economic security and strategic dependence. The loss of shipbuilding leadership is a major blow to South Korea. Jobs, revenue, and national pride are at stake. South Korea faces a tough future, unable to compete on price or scale. The shock of losing major orders to China is a wake-up call. Other nations may try to rebuild their own industries, but matching China's scale is daunting. The geopolitical landscape of maritime trade is being redrawn. South Korea must find a new way to compete or risk fading into the background. The world is watching what comes next. With China leading in volume and price, South Korea stands at a crossroads. Competing on cost is no longer an option. The future lies in innovation, building the ships of tomorrow. South Korea must double down on research, focusing on green technology and automation. The world wants cleaner, smarter ships, powered by alternative fuels and artificial intelligence. By pioneering these advanced vessels, South Korea can carve out a new niche at the high end of the market. This will require major investment and a new generation of skilled workers. The government must support innovation, not just scale. It's a high-risk, high-reward strategy. China may dominate conventional ships, but South Korea can lead in quality and ingenuity. The fight for the future of shipbuilding is just beginning.